Well, good day. The Stanley Cup Finals are just around the corner, and the Oilers are still in the third round, man, so I gotta do another hockey cartoon episode for you. This one is awesome because it features Wayne Gretzky fighting for the Stanley Cup. And if that doesn't say Stanley Cup playoffs, I don't know what does. So the cartoon in question, of course, would be the Pro Stars. And I'm only reviewing this episode because Gretzky is in it. Yeah! So, alright, let's go. Alright, so we start off at Pro Stars headquarters called Mom's Gym, where all the Pro Stars are hanging out. Of course, that would be Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and Bo Jackson. They get a message over the video monitor from this little girl named Mimi. Her grandma, who is Pro Stars manager Mom, has been kidnapped by Professor Clockwork D'Lorange. Another Pro Stars teammate, Denise, found a clip of a Canadian show where Professor Clockwork has stated that he will steal the Stanley Cup because he hates sports and everything sports because he's a jerk. So Gretzky's all like totally concerned and passes out, right?
Meanwhile,
Turns out the Stanley Cup is on display at the stereotypically Canadian Great White North Winter Games. And it also turns out that Mom created the security system for the Stanley Cup. So Clockwork needs Mom's insight to deactivate the shield so he can gank the mug. And he gives her an offer she can't refuse. Ooh. Oh, another bad impersonation. Sorry. But the Pro Stars get to the cup before Clockwork does. But Professor Clockwork's got his own team, the Blizzard City Frostbiters. What? But they're the roughest, toughest, dirtiest team ever, and they even got kicked out of the league. And they're led by their team captain, Jacques. So the Pro Stars battle with the Frostbiters, and oh man, it doesn't turn out so well for the Pro Stars, as the Frostbiters beat them up and steal the cup, which has Mimi hiding in it, which is something you can't really do. So now it's cup napping and double kidnapping. The Pro Stars chase him down, with Michael on a snowmobile helping Wayne steal the cup back. Just for Clockwork to steal the cup back, Wayne and Bo steal the cup back again, but just to lose the cup again. Man, this is more back and forth than a 7-game series, I tells ya. But hey, at least Michael saved the Mom and Mimi, you know, so hey, there's some wins in there anyway, right?
and now,
The fate of the Stanley Cup is to be, as it always should be, with a hockey game. Pro Stars versus Frostbiters. Like, this game even has Marv Albert announcing it. And you're probably thinking like, yes, we finally get to see a hockey game in this cartoon, right? But nope. Like, it looks like hockey. It has elements of hockey in it, but oh my god. So there's no goalies, there's no rules that anyone can see, no referees, and the Frostbiters all have explosive pucks and they just start shooting at will. Professor Clockwork is in the game too, man, and he body checks Gretzky harder than Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Bill McCreary did in 1981. Here's a random hockey reference for you. Things aren't looking good for the Pro Stars, but after all the insanity on the ice, they get back up on their skates and go on the offensive, and boom, 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 Wayne, Michael, and Bo score a goal each, so the Pro Stars win the game 3-0 and win the Stanley Cup. Gretzky wins his 5th Stanley Cup, yay! D'Lorange, who got wedged inside of the Stanley Cup, which actually can't happen, is arrested by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So yeah, everyone's saved, the cup is secured, and D'Lorange is in prison, so all is good. And other than that, I guess that's that. Like, that was a pretty weird episode. So like when I first started reviewing this episode, I thought there would be a whole lot more hockey involved in it. You know, the Stanley Cup and Gretzky and ice and all that stuff. It's really weird how the Pro Stars cartoon is one of the most sports-centric cartoons there is, but they actually show the least amount of real sports in it. Like, I guess it's more of a superhero show than it is sports, you know, but still, right? I've played crazier games of shinny pickup hockey than they played at the end for the Stanley Cup in this episode, you know? Yeah, Yeah, c'est la vie, I guess, right? This show is really funny in like how it turns real life sports athletes into these really weird, wacky characters. Well, I guess Michael Jordan is his cool, calm, collected self in this series and in real life. But they turned Wayne Gretzky into like some surfer hippie kind of a guy. Like, just because he played in California at this time doesn't mean he's actually from there. Like, he's from Ontario. I guess I should specify the Canadian province of Ontario and not the American city in California, Ontario. And Bo Jackson was like the big brooding kind of Hulk type character in this. Like, you know, dude is strong and all, but you know, like he's always so strong, right? Like anyone. So this was a cartoon I didn't watch a whole lot of when it was originally on because I was just slightly older than the target audience, you know, but I would always watch a bit of it because Wayne Gretzky is in it, you know? Or Wayne Hippie Gretzky as he's portrayed in this cartoon. So even though I was never really hardcore into the show, as a kid, I was actually really hardcore into a cereal called Pro Stars because Wayne Gretzky was on the cover of the box. And even now, Wayne Gretzky has things like his own winery, his own brewery, so I can still enjoy Wayne Gretzky products, you know, even as an adult, so it's all good. But enough about all that, you know, this is kind of a really weird, kind of definitely made for children kind of episode. It is kind of fun to see these sports, you know, figures, you know, being kind of goofy in cartoon form. So if you haven't seen it, you know, you could check it out. You know, I guess for funsies, it is kind of weird. But yeah, so let's go see what else there is to find out about behind the scenes and all that stuff about the Pro Stars. So, like, this was a pretty wild and wacky sports-themed superhero show that kind of had sports in it, but, you know, mostly alluded to sports, as you can see with this hockey game in this featured episode, which wasn't really a hockey game. This show was originally supposed to air on ESPN, which would make sense with the whole sports thing, but then ESPN decided to abandon it and NBC picked it up, so bam. So, if you couldn't tell, this show represents all 4 major sports in North America. So, alphabetically, that would be MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL. So the NHL, of course, is being represented by Wayne Gretzky, who at the time was playing for the Kings in Los Angeles, which is one of the major entertainment centers in North America, you know, if not the world. So he became a household name in the USA at this point. NBA is represented by the GOAT, Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls legend. So like, I got to tell you, man, like in my hometown of Edmonton, we're not really a big NBA city, you know, especially in the 90s. But man, when I was in junior high school, like almost everybody wore Chicago Bulls merchandise, and that was all because of Michael Jordan. And you got Bo Jackson. So he represents both the NFL and Major League Baseball, as he played in both leagues, like if you didn't know. So like at the time of this episode, he started playing for the Chicago White Sox, and he also played 4 seasons in the NFL with the Los Angeles Raiders. Like, that's crazy. So there was this whole Nike marketing campaign surrounding him called Bo Knows, because he knows sports, right? Bo knows sports. Bo knows golf. Bo knows hockey. Like, it was actually pretty awesome. So dude was pretty famous. Both Bo Jackson and Wayne Gretzky would make cameo appearances at the beginning and at the end of each episode. The character of Mom, for some reason, was originally supposed to be Dr. Ruth Westheimer. I don't really know why. Like, she's not really involved in sports or anything, I don't believe. But they decided against having her as a character because she is mostly known as a sex therapist. And they're like, yeah, for a kid's show, that doesn't make sense and that's no good. You know? So they just made the character a more generic character called Mom, but they kept the same look and the same accent, you know, of Dr. Ruth. So she's still kind of there. So as per the episode, it does say that Wayne Gretzky had his name inscribed on the Stanley Cup 4 times, which he did. That would be 4 times with my Edmonton Oilers. And his last time in the Stanley Cup Finals was when he was with the Los Angeles Kings and they lost to the Montreal Canadiens. Michael Jordan knows a thing or two about championships as well. He's won 6 NBA championship titles, and that would include 2 three-peat runs. Like, that's amazing. Bo Jackson did not win a championship title, but you know, he is a Heisman Trophy winner, and man, the dude played 2 professional sports at the same time. Man, I couldn't even make one junior B hockey team, so like, I got nothing to say, man. The Stanley Cup, you know, looks kind of more or less like it does in the cartoon, and is the oldest sports trophy to still be played for in North America. It was first awarded in 1893
by Lord Stanley Preston,
Canada's Governor General, and the Stanley Cup was originally for amateur hockey teams, which was a challenge cup. So if you were the reigning champ, other teams would have to challenge you, you know, to take the mug away. Kind of like what happened at the end of this featured episode. But now, of course, the NHL has exclusive rights to use the cup. No challenges there. One thing about Canadian sports trophies like this one is that you can drink out of it, which is the best. Like with the Stanley Cup here, drink. For the Canadian Football League, the Grey Cup, you can drink. For curling, there's the Briar Tankard. Drink. And finally, quick note, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police do not dress like that all the time. That was their original uniforms, and those uniforms have been regulated to just formal dress attire, you know, for ceremonies, handing out trophies, and their day-to-day work attire is, you know, more like a modern police officer. But yeah, that would be that. So then other than all that, I guess that's that. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, you know, feel free to do so. Or anything else, you know, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, you know, have a great day. Thanks.